This is the 2018 Lean Value Sires Virtual Open House. This program being brought to you by DAC Show Contender Livestock Supplements, Gene Pro, Mormon's Show Tech Feed, Ripley Family Farm Crumble, and Lean Value Sires. This live broadcast produced by Ohio AgNet and Ohio's Country Journal. Now introducing from Lean Value Sires, Rusty Bingham.
Hi everybody, welcome. Glad to have you here. Lean Value Sires' first ever spring open house boar preview for you guys here at Lean Value. I want to welcome everybody here. I got a great day planned for you, or a few minutes here, I guess. We're going to be watching about 30 minutes of boar video straight from the barn, and then we'll come back. We encourage you, if you get a chance, ask some questions during the video. We'll answer them towards the end. Got a lot of great things for you. I'll go through some stuff here real quick. I got my notes. Want to make sure I follow through on everything as far as that goes. So there's some new boars that won't be in the video. Some of the boars that are over at isolation. Obviously, we live in Ohio. I want them to be as comfortable as possible so they can produce the best semen quality for you. We will come back and have those boars videoed again on some of the newer boars that have came in. That would include the Chester boar, the $10,000 Chester boar purchased from Bannisters. That would include the Rick Fogel from Isla Grande Farms, the $11,000 purchase from Belton, the crossbred boar from Ripley Family Farms, which is a out of sight back on a Skype. The two S&K boars. The S&K boars are a Newsflash gain control, and the other one would be a Alliance Full Strut, which is a litter mate. The mother is a litter mate to Wake Up. Those boars will not be in this video, but we have a lot of the other boars in video. There will be some older mature boars that won't be in the video too as well. But, you know, it's kind of one of those things, you know, I want to give you guys the ones that I think that are still prominent and ones that are going to do the best job for you. So, prizes tonight. Throughout the video, we're going to watch people, and this is how you're going to win. You need to like or love, share, and comment with 3 people's names in the video post through this Facebook Live deal to get your chance to enter in the name for a drawing. And this is what we're going to be giving away today. First thing is 2 doses of any boar and stud for the 2018 year. The second thing would be rod bundles. We'll give a couple groups of rod bundles away. That's the artificial insemination rods. We'll have some lube. AI lube we'll give away too as well. $500 buyer's credit. We'll give away one $500 buyer's credit to a viewer who does the like, love, share, and also tag 3 people in the post in the comment section from this video towards purchasing a pig from Lean Value Sires. We'll also have a $250 buyer's credit towards that same deal too. The next thing would be a $150 semen credit. We'll draw for that towards semen or supplies at Lean Value Sires. $100 buyer's credit will be the next thing. And lastly, but not least, this is something that I wanted to do to set ourselves apart from a lot of people within the industry. We're probably going to keep this going. We're probably going to do one this fall open house too as well. It is 2 doses on any boar and stud for your whole entire life. That's right, 2 doses on any boar and stud for a lifetime. So we wanted to set ourselves apart, you know, give you guys the best that we can give you, and give you the best quality semen and the best quality product, plus give back to you guys, because we thank you for what you guys do for us and what we do in this industry. We couldn't do it without you. We really appreciate it. Couple things. Last thing to keep in mind, we have our sale in London, Ohio. It's March 23rd. There in London, check-in time is 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. SIFT will be at noon. We'll have a show pig clinic at 4 p.m. and the sale will begin at 7. This is a 1-for-1 deal, and I know I've talked to a lot of people, and some people still are a little bit confused on it, so I'll say it again. It's a 1-for-1 deal for this sale. To be in the sale, to consign to the sale there in London at our Midwest sale, you have to bring one pig sired by a lean value sires pig, sired by a lean value sires boar, and one, it doesn't really matter who it come from. That goes throughout the whole entire sale, and that's how we're going to run that deal. We did this down in Georgia, and it was a really big hit down there. Then we're going to follow that up with the Jackpot Show, which will also be in London, and that's April 28th and 29th. That's going to tie into the sale. So let's say if you come to our sale and you buy a pig, we're guaranteeing $1,000 to that kickoff show for the OPIGS Jackpot Circuit for the champion. But if you bought the pig from the sale on March 23rd, we're going to throw in $500 for you. If it's sired by one of my boars here at Lean Value Sires, we're going to throw another $500 on top of that. So you have the chance for $2,000 at that jackpot show. The reserve's the same deal. You're going to get a guaranteed $500 if you're reserved there at that show. Then how it works, if you bought the pig from the sale on March 23rd, you get $250 on top of that. If it's sired by one of my boars, another $250. We want to give back to the guys that are working hard in this industry. We want to help you out as best as possible. So without further ado and without any delay, I want to get right into it and give you guys some exciting footage from within the barn here at Lean Value Sires. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go to the barn. The first boar we're going to be showing you today is Annihilator here at Lean Value Sires at the open house. Annihilator, in terms of overall makeup and dimension and shape and bone, is really incredible. He'll put a shot of bone into your females. He'll put a added look and design and feature. Annihilator was a $35,000 reserve champion boar at Belton, Texas. The next boar we have up for our Lean Value Sires online open house is Man Crush. Man Crush is a best man Megatron Warfare bred by Morgan Genetics. He was really popular back there when we first got Man Crush, but still a boar that for his age and maturity level and the way he's designed and his functionality is one that could still be utilized in a lot of firms. Man Crush will bring a shot of power to your herd. You can see it over the top of him. He's got a lot of top shape, a lot of top hip shape. One in terms of bone, squareness of build. He's really impeccably cool that way. What we've seen in Man Crush too as well is he had some elevated look and extension up front. So this is Man Crush. He would be the boar that we got from Morgan Genetics. Again, a very popular best man son that we got here at Lean Value Sires. A mature boar, but still a very good quality boar to utilize for a lot of firms. The next boar we have up here at Lean Value Sires is Vortex. Vortex was purchased from breeding as a little pig. We purchased him last spring. So Vortex actually saw his first pigs hitting the ground this January and February. Vortex is a really good typical breeding hog. He's a power boar. He's going to add some shape and power to you, but he's still got a little bit of look and elevation up top from the point of the shoulders to the back of his ear. That guy's really pretty cool. He'll stouten him up in a hurry. Vortex I would protect on a little bit of moderation. I wouldn't take him to a moderate side, take him a little bit something with a little bit more frame. Vortex actually had an injury when he was a little bit younger boar in between his left rear leg there. Breeding fashion, this guy still can motor and still keep on going. One that we really like here quite a bit. We've used Vortex very heavily on some of the females here at Lean Value Sires. Vortex is going to work impeccably good on those, like I said, those better pastern, taller fronted, and a little bit more frame size females. This is Vortex, a very good boar here at Lean Value Sires. Raise the stakes. Raise the Stakes is the next boar in our lineup here at Lean Value Sires for our online open house. Raise the Stakes is a Annie Best Man from Glenn Craft and family. Raise the Stakes is one in terms of overall stoutness of skull, stoutness of center body cavity, and stoutness of hip. You can't make them any more bolder and wider. Raise the Stakes you want to protect just a tick bit on pastern set, but take him to ones that's going to a little bit more elevated, and take him to ones that are a little bit more framier, and this guy's going to blow them apart and open them up quite a bit. That's Raise the Stakes here at Lean Value Sires. The next boar we have up in our lineup here at Lean Value Sires is AMPLIFY. AMPLIFY is an amped up ricochet. We purchased AMPLIFY down at Summer Type Conference down in Louisville for $18,000. AMPLIFY, in terms of extension from the point of the shoulders to the back of his ear, is really impeccably cool. His functionality and soundness off both ends is really, really neat. And I think he's going to add a little bit of touch of power into some of those lines. With that amped up line and being as popular it was kind of a no-brainer for us to add a amped up son into stud, and AMPLIFY was the choice that we had there at Summer Type Conference down in Louisville. This boar is AMPLIFY. AMPLIFY was bred by Titus Farms, and he is a amped up ricochet. The next boar we have here at Lean Value Sires is our popular champion boar from CPS Summer Type Conference there in 2017. This boar is Keep Quiet. Keep Quiet was raised by the Banger family show stock team. Keep Quiet is an empire changer. What we've seen out of Keep Quiet so far on litters that have been hitting the ground, he's going to add a robust rib shape to him. He's going to open you up top. He's going to put a stoutness of skull into you. He's also going to add some added bone. He doesn't show that much bone, but that guy throws an incredible amount of bone. Elevation's right. Length of stride is right. Length from the front of the shoulders to the back of the ear is correct. This guy, in terms of overall use, he is an outcross to most of the loudmouth lines. So this guy actually got to see, when we got this guy up and rolling, he saw pretty heavy use on a lot of loudmouth saws, and that's been what he's been working out pretty good on. So this is Keep Quiet, Empire Changer. He was the champion boar from CPS Summer Type Conference, our $17,000 purchase there at Summer Type Conference for the CPS end. Keep Quiet. The next boar we have up here at Lean Value Sires for the online open house is GAMBIT. GAMBIT is a buzzsaw power-up intrigue from Murray State University. We picked up GAMBIT at the extravaganza, NSR extravaganza there in Richmond, Indiana. He was a little bit of a gamble. He's a little bit of a risk. This guy's got impeccable extension. He's really geek-necked as far as the height and elevation at the point of the shoulders and his extension. One's in terms of power and mass. This guy's got a lot of top shape up high, and then he also has got a big rear end in him. But GAMBIT is one in terms of overall power, dimension, shape, elevation at the point of the shoulder, balance. I think this guy's really good. That is GAMBIT, and GAMBIT was a buzzsaw power-up intrigue from Murray State University. Thanks from the team from Murray State University for letting us get a part of this guy. And thanks to the NSR for keeping that extravaganza going where we could purchase young boars like this and take a little chance, and they turn out to be really, really good. Again, GAMBIT. Next up, we have Like Me Now. One of the most interesting buys that I think I did all summer long last year was Like Me Now. He was a $22,000 Berkshire boar from Knopf. He is a Scandal King Kong. He came from the Summer Type Conference. You want to talk about a Berk boar that can pick him up and put him down right where they need to be. A boar that's got impeccable skull. A boar that's got impeccable look. Even for a mature boar This guy's got a lot of good to him. This boar is a coverall for a lot of the Berkshire females out there. One that I can see used in a plethora of Berkshire sow herds. And I think it's one of those things that, you know, we've seen some young pigs on this guy, and we're happy with the way they have turned out. This is Like Me Now. You know, Kevin Went talked about this guy at the show. He said, you remember those girls back in high school that had the ugly duckling syndrome? Well, this guy has turned out like that swan. He is very, very, very cool and very, very, very right where he is right. This is Like Me Now, Scandal King Kong from Knopf Farms. Really pleased with this, what this Berkshire's boar's done for us, and really excited about what he's going to do in the future. Well, boys, here he is. Who's that? That's the next board lined up here at Lean Value Sires. I tell you what, you want to be a trendsetter, you want to be a go-getter, you want to be one that's going to be futuristic in that front-end design and the way they look. I told you Ohio State Fair could produce. I told you there was going to be a champion there I was going to buy. And it cost me $20,000 to buy this guy, and he was worth every damn penny. I know I cursed there, but that's how excited I am about that boar. In terms of height, elevation, point of the shoulders, the way he comes at you on that front end, this guy's impeccably good. He's bold top. He's bold ribbed. He's the one in terms of bone. I think he's adequate in bone. Yeah, could you change him a little bit on those fundamentals on those rear too? But I think he's square. I think he can add a lot of feature. I think he add a lot of good to a lot of different herds. We use this guy quite heavily in some of our stuff here at home. Some of those power females that are busting open in that center ham. I think this guy could work out really, really well. His pastern set's right. His elevation's right. His look in the front end is right. That's Who's That. He is a Severance package. Back on a double bred super monster sow from 3N Farms, which would be Nick Barney and family. I'm really excited about this boar. He was a champion boar at Ohio State Fair. This guy needs heavy use. Please look in. Take a look at this guy. I think he's impeccably good. Who's That? Next we have up in our lineup here on the Duroc line is Structure. Structure came from Doug Stewart. Structure is an American Outlaw fullback. Purchased Structure, teamed up with Doug on that boar as a mature boar. Doug already used him quite heavily, and then when we got him here, he got used even more. In terms of overall structure and design, he's impeccable. He's got his name. He is Structure. He is wicked good in his structure. Stoutness of skull, robust rib, height, elevation. In terms of fundamentals, I think he's really balanced. He'll stouten them up. He'll add some overall characteristics, breed characteristics of the Duroc. I think he could be a trendsetter in the Duroc industry. I think this one's impeccably good where he is good. I use that word a lot, but impeccable. Structure is impeccable. I really like this boar quite a bit. This is Structure. He's an American Outlaw fullback, and he came from Doug Stewart. Next we have in the lineup is All Caps. All Caps is a Tweet This, Big Affair, Full Monty, Triple Crowns litter mate sister. This is one we raised here at Lean Value Sires. We're very proud of this boar. His terms of elevation, height, the shoulder, extension, pastern, set, stride off the rear too is really cool. We like this guy quite a bit. He's seen a lot of use here at the farm and use at a lot of different other farms too as well. He's got impeccable drive, he's got a motor, and he can keep driving every day of the week. This is All Caps. He is a Tweet This, Big Affair, Full Monty, Triple Crowns litter mate sister. Next in the Duroc lineup here at Lean Value Sires, we have Cell Block D. Cell Block D is an Alcatraz Bold Ruler double shift. Comes from Lockman Farms. This Alcatraz line was really interesting to me. I seen a lot of San Quintins, but I didn't see a lot of Alcatrazes. So when I saw this guy, I was like, man, this guy's going to make a lot of barras and make a lot of boars. In terms of overall power, dimension, and shape, this guy is really incredible. He's got the right length of body to make some barras and boars. He's in terms of bone, I think he's okay. He's got a lot of upper rib shape and a lot of upper ham shape. I really like this guy as far as his extension from the point of his shoulders forward. I think he's really, really cool where he's really, really cool. This is Cell Block D from Lockman. He is a Alcatraz Bold Ruler double shift. Next we have up is Truth Be Told. He is a click back on a Frozen in Time. He came from Cole Igo from Missouri. This boar was the champion FFA board at the Missouri State Fair. In terms of overall power and shape, this guy is crossbred power, crossbred shape. He's got a lot of good. He is very, very bold chested. A very, very bold chested Hampshire boar. One in terms of elevation, height, the shoulder length, overall dimension is one that's really incredible. His length of stride off his rear two is really, really cool. But again, he's one in terms of overall dimension, shape, look, and power. This guy's got a lot of good for a Hampshire boar. We were pleased to purchase this guy at National Barrier Show. He did see heavy use in a lot of crossbred females. A lot of the guys were using him for that the World Pork Expo deal, the Hampshire sire deal. So we're really excited about this guy. I think he's going to turn some heads with his offspring this coming show season. So this is Truth Be Told. Truth Be Told, click, Frozen in Time. This is QUICKSILVER. QUICKSILVER was our purchase from Summer Type Conference last year, 2017 there from Winmore Farms. QUICKSILVER is a unleashed bear sudden impact. He is a belted blue boar in terms of functionality, soundness, height, elevation at the point of the shoulder, extension. This guy's just an all-around balanced kind of boar. Would you want to open him up underneath? Yeah, he needs some width. Take him to some moderation, take him some power, taking him something a little bit wider chested and a little bit more wider off the rear too. But this guy will make you head the right direction on feet and legs. He puts him up, he picks him up, and he puts him down square. He puts him where he needs to be put at. He's very extended, very tall fronted, very, very, very good, and overall length of stride. This is QUICKSILVER. He is Unleashed Bear Sudden Impact from Winmore Farms. This guy is High Octane. High Octane was the highest selling boar at Fall Classic this year. High Octane is impeccably stout made, and I'm not in terms of talking about bone. I think he is a stout skulled, stout ribbed, stout hipped kind of deal. He does not show a lot of power, but I think this guy is good where he's really, really good. I'm really excited about what this Yorkshire boar is going to do for a lot of good people out here in the country. I think he's ones in terms of length of body, boldness throughout the center body cavity of this guy is impeccably good. This guy's a breeding boar. Is he going to make bears and boars? I think he could on the right sows, but I think this guy is going to, in terms of making the next generation of Yorkshires better, I think this is the guy that everybody needs to use. He came from S&K Farms. We call him High Octane. He is a gas money back on a gang control sow that Scott and them Stauffer have there at their farm. This guy wowed me down at the show. He was in their heat check pen at home. I think his elevation, his pastern set, his length from the front of his shoulders to the back of his ear is correct. I think this guy is just all around of a really, really good boar. One that a lot of people could use in their Yorkshire herds. This again is High Octane. He is a gas money back on a game control. Really excited about what this guy's going to do. Really big hind leg on that guy. Really big legged. I mean, he is really, really cool. Again, High Octane. Next up in the lineup for the red breed is Hangman. Hangman is a Hang'em High slats. Hangman come from Don R. Smith and family. Hangman is one impeccable dude as far as the height and elevation at the point of the shoulder, his depth of body. And I'm talking from the top of his shoulder down to his breastplate. I think this guy is deep. He's a deep-bodied kind of boar that's a breeding boar. One in terms that can make some females, and I think his power and his shape could make some boars and make some barrows too as well. This guy is a coverall kind of boar. I think he can make barrows, and I think he can make gilts in that next sow production herd. Thank you, Don R. Smith, for the opportunity of owning this guy. He is a Hang'em High Slats, and his name is Hangman. Next boar we have up in our Chester breed is Knockout. Knockout was our World Pork Expo purchase last year. Knockout is one, he is an over-to-the-top Walter from Rourke Sisters. We were really excited to get Knockout. He is a balanced boar. He is a power top boar. You get on top of this guy, he wows you with as much muscle shape as he has up high. He's got a lot of elevation and height at the point of the shoulder. He's one in terms of, overall soundness and functionality, really cool. Stoutness and bone and feature on this guy are pretty good too as well. One we like to see used on maybe a little bit more moderate Chester females. And maybe a little bit shorter bodied, but I think he's okay there. I think this guy's going to make some barras, and I think this guy's going to make some boars. And then again, I really think this guy might make some next generation females. We really like Knockout. I think Knockout's done an exceptional job for us so far, and I think he's got a lot of good coming down the road for him. This is Knockout, over the top Walter, bred by Rourke Sisters. If you want to see what Raise the Stakes can do for you guys, take a look in. This is Sparkler Balm from Sparks Farms. Sparkler Balm is a Raise the Stakes back on a Forever, and then actually back on the dam of All Caps. So his grand dam is the mother of All Caps. We're really excited about what this guy brings to the table as far as power, look, overall top hip shape. This guy will add you a shot of power in one generation. He's designed a lot like Raise the Stakes, but with a look and added feature of what All Caps' mom puts into play. That elevation, that pastern set, and that overall trendiness that's up front. Sparkler Balm is a stress carrier, so just a FYI there. But if you want to add some color to your sow herd, look in. This guy has the red green, and he will throw that calico color. Really excited what Sparkler Balm brings to the table. He comes from Sparks Farms again. Thank you, Sparks. He is a Raise the Stakes back on Forever. The Grand Dam is actually the mother of All Caps. This is Sparkler Balm. This is Trust Me. Trust Me was our Duncan purchase from Dalton Family Farm. Trust Me is a Juggernaut, which is a man crush son that Dalton sold at Duncan for $28,000 to Apex back on a monumental sow. We're really excited about having Trust Me in the lineup here at Lean Value Sires. His extension is really, really cool. This guy's got impeccable top shape. I mean, he is a big top kind of a guy. He's got a lot of good when it comes in terms of that boldness right above his blade all the way back to his hip. I think this guy's got a lot of power, and he's going to sire a lot of power. He's a big pin set kind of a boar, and he's also a big footed kind of a boar. You get behind him and look at those rear two legs, you look down at his foot, he's a big footed monster kind of guy. I think this guy's going to work for a lot of different herds in different ways. I think this guy's going to sire boars and barras. Take him to those softer made kind of females. Maybe a nickel more bone, but not a lot more bone. I think this guy's got plenty of bone, but I think this guy's impeccably good. We own this guy with Anjo Farms, Joe Wilde and Annie Joe down there. Really appreciate what you guys have done with us. We really thank you a lot for teaming up on this boar. And this guy's seen a lot of use down there at Wilde's. We're really excited about it, and really excited about Trust Me. That was one thing that Lindsay said, trust me, Rusty, you need to buy this boar. And I did, and we were very happy. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Joe Wilde and family. Trust me. All right, next up we have here is Revenge. Revenge came to us from Heimer Hampshires, actually kind of indirectly, but it came from a bred female that A&L Genetics purchased from Heimer. That sow is the 357 back on the 5311 Heimer sow. They picked the 357 and she was bred to Vendetta, and these are the results. This is Revenge. Revenge is impeccable as far as rib shape, power, mass, look. I think this guy's incredible as far as when you get behind him and his reach and drive off of his rear too. You want to elevate him on those pasterns just a little bit, but I think he's okay there. I think there's enough trendy females out there to utilize on him. You know, I really like this guy in terms of bone. I think his bone matches his body and his age. He's incredibly good chested. I think he's one that's got an incredible amount of body cavity, and I'm really excited to have Revenge instead here at Lean Value. Again, this is Revenge. He's a Vendetta back on a 357, back on the 5311 sow from Heimers. We're really excited about having Revenge here at Lean Value Sires. We're going to finish up the rest of the day here. The last board that we're going to show you is Dirty Money. Dirty Money is a dirty secret back on the Sky's the Limit. We got this guy from Wagey. It was an off the farm purchase right before Duncan. So we were the first kind of guys that ended up diving into that dirty secret stuff there before everybody else did, right before Duncan. In terms of stoutness of bone, this guy is impeccably stout. Big footed, big rib shape. I think this guy's got a big top laying in him and a big hip set. He's square from the blade all the way back to his tail head. I think this guy, in terms of overall look up front and front end design, I think he's really good. This is Dirty Money. He is a dirty secret back on a Sky's the Limit. Really excited about things that Dirty Money's going to be able to accomplish here. He has that red gene, so he will throw some red. I think he's got that blue gene, that Wagey blue in there, so I think he's going to throw some blues too as well. I think you take him to a pure white sow, and I think you could end up with some of those Southwest type Yorkshires if you get the right kind of Yorkshire female on the bottom side. I really love how wide and open up Dirty Money is underneath, and I really love how wide and open up he is on top. Again, incredibly stout, incredibly big toed. I think this guy is really good. This is Dirty Money, Dirty Secret back on Sky's the Limit. You good?
Yeah.
Oh, huh. Yeah. Hey.
We're back.
We're back. Hey, hope you guys enjoyed the boar preview, the spring boar preview there. We want to thank everybody for tuning in for the spring boar preview. We got a series of questions we're going to go over through here, and then we're going to announce those winners. We actually kept track of who was liking and sharing. You still got a chance here for a few seconds. If you like, share, tag 3 people. You still got a chance to get entered for that drawing. Mm-hmm. So,
and just so you know, my name's Joel
over
here.
Yeah, sorry, Joel.
Just helping out Rusty, kind of get some of these questions all aligned and everything like that. But quite a boar set out there, Rusty.
Thank you, Joel. Thank you.
Some great boars, and I saw all the likes and the hearts go across the screen, especially for Sparkler Bomb, Dirty Money.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
And we'll be getting some questions here. What do we want to start off with?
I think what we'll start in is we'll just dive right into these questions. We had some messages that were coming through. I had some messages. Actually, I was getting a lot of text messages on my phone as the preview was going through. So
yeah, and go ahead and keep on asking those questions down there in the corner at the bottom of the screen. Keep typing those in. We'll be checking them in here during our little question session. So let's go ahead and start off, right at the top here. Sparkler Bomb and Raise the Stakes kind of pigs. What kind of pigs they sire?
Oh man, you see that whole interior deal with that Sparkler Bomb and that Raise the Stakes deal. When we bought Raise the Stakes, I had one thing in mind for him. The elevation and height, the shoulder, and his pastern set. This guy's a big, busted, opened up rib cage kind of boar. He's got a big stout skull and a big square hip in him, but it just didn't really, in terms of the pastern set and the comfortability there and the extension and the look up front, he wasn't going to, he didn't really have it. So those females that had that elevation height of the shoulder and a good set pastern to them, that's what that board is going to work on really, really well with. Mm-hmm. Now, Sparkler Bomb, from in terms of what they sire, we've seen a lot of the raise the stakes. I think Union County Champion, there was a reserve there, mm-hmm. I believe so. But you're getting a lot of rib shape and a lot of power. Sparkler Bomb, you're going to see that same thing because he's actually a carrier. But I think Sparkler Bomb's going to throw some elevation and look up front. Because if you go back to the Grand Dam on that, which is the mother of all caps that's in stud, and if you viewed the video on all caps, you can see how tall, elevated, and good fronted that boar is. So I think Sparkler Bomb in the back end of that pedigree has a lot of good. Mm-hmm. It's just depending on what type of sows you're going to utilize them on and what you're going to get. You are going to get a lot of color, that's for sure. Between Sparkler Bomb and Raise the Stakes, I think that Raise the Stakes has that red gene in the back end of that pedigree. So you're going to be able to get some calicos out of that deal.
Absolutely. Quite the set there. Keep those questions coming. How's Keep Quiet's semen quality these days?
Well, we had some issues, and I'm 100% transparent as far as my business practices. If you have a question, just ask me. I'll tell you the truth. It might hurt me. It might not. My dad always told me, choose the harder right over the easier wrong. So as long as I'm choosing the harder right over the easier wrong, I'm doing my part for you and my part for myself. Keeps Quiet semen wasn't very good to start off with. We had about a month and a half of semen production where he wasn't making very good production. He is back on track. That boar's semen is very, very good and very, very high quality. I'm not going to sell bad semen to you guys. I want to settle sows. I want to help you guys settle sows. I want to be that kind of guy that, you can depend on when you have those issues that, you can give me a call. Pigs out of Keep Quiet. I think somebody asked there, let me see this question down here. What kind of pigs are we seeing out of Keep Quiet? Really robust, opened up rib shape, mm-hmm. soundness and functionality. That guy's impeccable when it comes to that, that realm. And I think he adds a little bit of bone. I went over to Rick Fogel's place and saw some Keep Quiets there. And I know I talked to, we had an AI school mm-hmm. this weekend, and Tom Trowbridge was there, and he was telling me about some Keep Quiets that he had there at his place. And, they're very happy and very impressed with what they're siring.
And we talk about, the addition of hogs each year. This is one I'm throwing out myself. 2017, 2016. Well, what's 2018 edition shaping up to be? What are people really seeing coming out of those litters?
Well, from that 2018 crop and what we're expecting to see, I was at 2000. My last year's shown was at 2002 deal. So, when we're looking at hogs that are coming out here in 2018, we're wanting them a little bit more elevated. We're wanting them taller at the point of the shoulder. We're wanting their pastern strength be a little bit stronger. We're wanting that extension and look up front. We're wanting that, that true rib shape and upper rib shape and that push and momentum off those rear two to be really functional and sound. But with that in mind, I want to see on my end, this is just my humble opinion, I want to keep that added mass, that added, product, especially in that market hog deal where we could have some hogs that are busted open, but still have that elevation and look.
And getting some of that, it comes down to the management level on the farm management, and some of that being done more and more each day, especially, as you mentioned earlier, through your AI school, helping people out, making sure they're getting the right start. What all does that entail, and how has that developed from you guys' point of view?
From that standpoint, we've done a lot of things mm-hmm. for the customer base. We just Saturday had that AI school and workshop there. It was very informative. We had a great group there. We're going to actually have that again there this fall. A lot of the questions that were asked, as far as how do I market my show pigs now, and my involvement, especially on the social media platforms and stuff like that, I'm there as a resource to my customers. So making myself available 24/7. You can call me at 3:00 in the morning, ask me what color underwear I'm wearing, and I'll tell you.
Hey, you can try that tonight, right?
Yeah, try that tonight. But no, absolutely. It's kind of one of those things where, I want to be a valued resource to my customers just because of the factor, if I can make my customers succeed, I'm going to succeed. So.
There you go. What other questions we got going on here? Burke bore.
Burke bore, yeah.
What do you recommend in that way?
Okay, a gentleman, I think it was Brian Odell, put up a question about a Burke bore. I think it was a SoFly. I can't remember the rest of the pedigree there, but he was asking, he needed to open her up a little bit more, if I remember correctly in that question. A bore like Me Now, he is a coverall kind of bore. He's going to add some stoutness of power, stoutness of skull, and stoutness of rib. Bad to the bone. We actually picked him up from Whipple's. There's some bores that weren't showed in the video, that are still, bores that I think are really good. Bad to the Bone's got a huge rear leg and a huge bone set to him and huge structure. And I think that guy, in terms of elevation, height of shoulder, and chest cavity, I think he would work pretty good too. So 2 options there would be like Me Now and Bad to the Bone. If you wanted to go like the Barrow route, you could go with like Drink Me On, a real powerhouse. He'll open you up a little bit, but I think, frame size and stuff like that, he's going to be a barrow maker.
Absolutely. So. And taking a look at some of our comments here, Robert Bruce asking, which crossbred boar do you recommend the most that you have out there?
Wow.
No, just choose one.
Well, here's one of the biggest thing, and I want to keep this in mind for, the public in general and my customers and everybody. Everybody wants that one boar that's going to hit all and cover all, and in my mind, you could go with, I know what boars that I love to use: Dirty Money, All Caps, Vortex, Sparkler Bomb, Quicksilver. I could go on and on about boars. The biggest thing that you guys need to know within the industry, and this is something that I learned over a period of time, it's about phenotype. It's about the phenotypical selection of those females that you're breeding to. A one boar coverall isn't going to do the same. You could breed to a boar that's a $1,500 a dose boar and breed it to one of your best sows and end up with turds out of the deal. Mm-hmm. You take a boar that's completely average and breed it to that same sow, you might end up with some pretty good pigs out of that deal. It's all depending on the phenotypical selection. Taking ones that are a little bit, like if your sows are cushy pastern, but they're both busted open, they got a lot of chest cavity, got a lot of body cavity. Taking them something that's a little bit more elevated, taller at the point of the shoulders, maybe a little bit more extended, maybe even a little bit more longer bodied. You'll end up with you end up with the pros and cons of different things. From that standpoint. It's like the difference at the AI school. I talked about it, and I know I'm going on about this topic, but I really am passionate about it. It's like the difference between me and my brother. Joel,
yeah,
my brother. So my brother's 6'5", 275 pounds. I'm 6 foot on my good days, back about 260. So, we feed differently. We are phenotypically designed. We are genetically made a lot similar, but in terms of overall makeup, I got genetic traits from one side of the family. My brother got genetic traits from a different side. So those are the things that they need to keep in mind when they're asking, what crossbred boar they need to use. It's a long-winded answer, but, it's an answer that I'm passionate about.
Absolutely. And sorry, I'm looking over here. I just want to get some more questions. Underline quality good on the Don Smith red boar.
Really good. Underlying quality on the Don R. Smith boar is really good. That Don R. Smith, he puts everything first as far as that goes. With him being the Duroc board president of the NSR, he emphasizes on true quality with that Duroc breed. I am very thrilled to have that board instead coming from Don R. I think there's terms of people can go in there and him being a true, Ohio bred, but an outcross bred kind of deal. There's some parts in that boar that people could utilize in different ways within there. But, as far as in terms of underlying quality, Duroc characteristics, that boar is really good.
And right here, what Yorkshire boar would you use to breed an amped up by high country gilt? Yes, amped up and high country.
If I'm, that amped up high country, so you got some power in there with the amped up line, and you got some power from that high country side. If the sow, and I wish you give me a call sometime. I'd love to talk to you about that sow. Mm-hmm. Call the 800 number there at the office. But in my mind, that amped up deal, I think high octane. Mm-hmm. He is a gas money back on that gain control line. I think, in terms of bone, length of body, I think he's really correct there. Actually going old school. a little bit too. We keep some mature boars there in stud. We keep Skull and Decidedly Different in there. And Skull and Decidedly Different, Decidedly Different, a true breeding hog, a power hog, but it's got the shortness of body and the overall depth of body, I think would work really good. Or, Skull. I think Skull is a very, very viable option. It's time for us to start diving back into some of those older pedigrees to where we can go and utilize them. Oh, Retro. I totally forgot about Retro.
There you go.
Retro is a boar we purchased from George Watson, and we don't have him pictured yet, and he should have been in the video. We'll get him. He's over at the other farm. I know I mentioned him in the first part. Retro is a 4-way, which is a power up or power on son, back on that deal, on an in-charge deal that we got from George Watson. Retro is a true stout-made kind of George Watson styled boar, but we need to dive back into that kind of stuff. We need to go back to those older breeders. George is doing some really incredible stuff on frozen semen side, so I think there's some viable options there for that deal. So,
asking here, what kind of sow would Vortex work on?
Vortex is a breeding boar, so he's a lot like Decidedly Different. He's a moderate kind of made boar, so he's in terms of a power boar. He's got a lot of shape up high and a lot of shape on his rear end. He's kind of one of those boars that, if you take him to something that's a little bit more framier, a little bit more elevated, something maybe a little bit better on the pasterns. Vortex is a softer pastern boar, but he's a comfortable soft pastern boar. He's got a big toe. His toes are one toe is probably about as big as my 2 knuckles put together. But, that kind of boar, you need to take him to something that's a little bit more elevated, a little bit more framier.
And we don't have time to get to all the questions out there, but what are your office hours, Rusty?
24/7. I'm open 24/7. Everybody asks me the office hours there at Lean Value. We are 24/7. You can call me right now and I'd answer my phone. I'm telling you right now, it's one of those things that I wanted to be dedicated to the people within this industry. I know there's a lot of people. I came from a hardworking family. My dad worked full time, 40 hours a week, and then he farmed on top of that, and he was a farmhand. I knew what it was like for him when he came home at 7 o'clock in the evening and was checking sows and realizing, hey, I missed one. And we were small time. 10 sows, now we're a little bit larger. But my emphasis is on the people that work hard to achieve more, and that's the biggest thing, is helping those people out and making myself available 24/7. We had a guy come pick up semen, I think it was the other night, and it was like 12:15 in the morning. So we're 24/7 at Lean Value.
Absolutely.
So,
do you still do breed-specific pricing?
Yes. We work with breed-specific pricing. We do contract pricing too as well. We gave away a Yeti cooler there just not too long ago to Nathan Jenkins and then the Kimley Show Pig family. Nate Jenkins actually signed up for a contract pricing. Nate spends quite a bit of semen, purchases a lot of semen from us, so doesn't the Isler family too as well. Give them a shout out there. But we do breed specific pricing. If it depends on the number of doses that you purchase and what boards that you're looking at. Nate's always that one guy, well, I got $50 or $75 to spend, and that's my top end, but I'm going to call and order 20 doses at a time or 15 doses at a time. So we work with those individuals to help them out. So
absolutely. Also, one we had submitted earlier in the show, bred gilts for sale. You got any bred gilts for sale? Or will you have?
Yeah. So currently on hand, we have about 30 sows there at Lean Value Sires, and then I have some my hoarding tendencies, I should say. My wife is very angry at me about my hoarding tendencies there at the farm. I'll sit there and I'll put away probably about 40 to 30 gilts that'll be back into the pen. And what I'll do is I'll actually breed some of those females and then offer them up. So yeah, once we get into this breeding season, the spring breeding season, I'm sure I'm going to have probably, a good handful of sows that I could probably offer to the public again. So
check back and stay tuned.
Yep, and just stay with me. Just stay with me on that deal. I saw a question here, and I really want to get to it real quick here. The Who's That baby pigs. That was a question somebody texted me. How does Who's That, those pigs look? We purchased Who's That at Ohio State Fair to tell everybody, just not because of the quality that's there at Ohio State Fair, but what that boar in terms of sireability that boar has. He's a Severance package double bred super monster on the bottom side. That boar, in terms of elevation, height of shoulder, and extension up front, and his base width and his rib cage and overall front end look is really cool. So we've seen that a lot in those pigs. And if you've seen Severance package, which if you get a chance to breed to them, I'm a different kind of boar stud. I'm going to tell you to breed to other boar studs. I'm not going to tell you just to use all my stuff. If you get a chance to go to Showtime and use Severance package, absolutely do so. I just called Sherritt's there the other day, and I told him I want to use 24/7, and then the Hampshire boar from Krieger. Those are the relationships that we need to have within the industry, that you need to dive into other people's stuff, even when you know that you have good stuff at home too as well to use. So, who's that? He's going to sire some pretty cool pigs.
And an example of, getting something from State Fair, you wanted to kind of tell people, hey, look here, but also comes from a family that is there and helping out in the show world quite a bit. Yeah, the Nick Barney family, and Nick and I showed against each other when Nick was a little bit younger and I was a little bit older, but that family is very dedicated to the state of Ohio. And I'm going to say this in general, in all honesty, I'm going to go to a lot more state fairs this year. I do go to the national shows. I try to hit every national show and try to buy some boars out of there. But I'm going to go to I'm going to go to some of the national the state fair shows. I'm going to go to Missouri. I'm going to go to Iowa. I'm going to go to Wisconsin and Minnesota, because I think there's good quality people just like the Barneys there at those state fairs that we can get involved with. I think one of the other questions was our relationship with some of the suppliers. Absolutely.
Mike Garner posted there a little bit about not being able to be there for Gene Pro. We work really well with those vendors. I know the Sherritts did a heck of a job with their open house video, and they also work with Gene Pro. Mormon Show Tech, Jake Rupert. If you get a chance to pick a brilliant mind within the show pig industry, get with Jake Rupert over there. He's really brilliant in that industry. We formed a relationship with DAC Vitamins and Minerals, and I did that endorsement with him. A great quality line product, that takes you beyond just the feed bucket. It's a nutritional supplement. It's chelated vitamins and minerals. And I do a lot of seminars for them and what have not, feed conferences and stuff, and really good products to work with as far as some of those vendors that sponsored our show.
And some great things. Is it time?
Yeah, I think it's time. I'll
let you handle that stuff.
All right. Yeah. Let me go ahead and just look over here real quick. Yep. Okay. We'll go ahead and just grab that computer over here.
Hold on. Let's grab it. Bring it this way.
We got the whole deal here where we're trying to make this as random as possible to where we can make sure that they get the right people here. So we're going to go ahead and give away some of those prizes right now. The first one up, and I'm reading from my notes here real quick, is 2 doses any boar and stud. This is 2 doses on any boar and stud, here at Lean Value Sires. And let me take a look here real quick. Okay, got it. And it's Stephanie Price. Stephanie Price, congratulations. You won 2 doses on any boar and stud here at Lean Value Sires. All right, next up, I think we have here is rod bundle. We're going to give away 3 of them. I'm going to pick out 3 names here right off the randomizer here, whatever they call this thing. Joel helped us out getting this set up and everything.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah.
As far as everything as that goes. So the first person here, let's take a look here, is Josh Horton. Josh Horton, congratulations, Josh Horton. You won a bundle of rods. Colton Contrail, you won a bundle of rods. The last person here is Kirk Swinson. Kirk Swinson, you won a bundle of rods too as well. Congratulations. Next up we have here, go back to my notes here, we got some lube, artificial insemination lube. We got 4 of those to give away. The first one up is, let's take a look here. Okay. That's going to be Paul Henzel. I think that's
there. You go. I think it's Paul Henzel.
Paul Henzel, you've won. Keith Wiley, Joe Wolf, and Seth Downing.
All right.
Congratulations, you guys won some lube. All right. The next one here is we have the $500 buyer's credit towards a pig purchase at Lean Value Sires. Let's go ahead. All right. That person is going to be Keith Wilson. Congratulations, Keith. You won $500 buyer's credit towards lien value. Next one is we got a $250 buyer's credit. Okay. $250 buyer's credit goes to Justin Rogers. Congratulations, Justin. All right. $150 buyer's credit towards Seaman. Lucas Rowe. Lucas Rowe. Congratulations, Lucas. You won a $150 buyer's credit to Lien Value Sires. $100 buyer's credit towards Seaman. Okay. That's going to be Robert York. Congratulations, Robert York. You won some $100 buyer's credit.
This is the big one.
This is the big one. Okay, so this is the big one. Like I said, I want to set ourselves apart here a little bit. So we were going to give away, and we did this actually at the AI clinic, which, I'm going to go back, and I actually got a lot of thank yous and what have not, and I want to thank everybody that attended the AI clinic. We actually gave away the same thing at the AI clinic. We had a family win 2 doses on any bore and stud for life. So this is the person that we're looking at here. Hang on one second. Karen Neal. Karen Neal, congratulations. 2 doses on any bore and stud for life. For the life of you live, you're going to get 2 doses of bore on any bore and stud. And you get to use that once per year, and we'll work with you as best possible.
Now, if their names were just called, how do they get in contact with you? What's
okay.
the best way?
Best way to get a hold of us is just to call the 800 number, or you can call my cell. The 800 number is 800-972-8766. Give us a shout. Let us know that you won. Or you can comment in the comment section, and I'll make sure that I pull your name there. And plus, I got it here written down. Then the other big thing, too, as well, is my cell phone, 419-787-9244. Yep, you can text me, too. I'll definitely take texts. So,
one more question I just saw pop up here during the giveaway. Any internships available this summer? Or yet to be determined? Or who knows? Check back.
I tell you what, yes. So we did an internship, and we had Jake Pettigrew come from Indiana, from Columbus, Indiana there, or Columbia City there, Indiana there. And we had him there, and that was a really beneficial tool. One of the things that I did when we moved the stud from New Carlisle up to home, we actually moved the stud, and, we were looking at staffing as far as what we were going to do. We are working with the local FFA chapters, the Ben Logan FFA chapter, Ridgemont FFA chapter, Kenton, Ada, all those kind of deals. We're going to work with them. We have 2 kids that are doing 2 work studies with us this year. But we are entertaining internships.
A lot to learn there.
No, a lot to learn. See, they're going to learn everything as far as the bore stud aspect of it, but then they're also going to learn as far as the sow production part of it, too.
And their hours will be 24/7, too, right?
If I call them, they better answer. Let's just put it that way.
Well, that's fantastic. And what a great presentation here today. I think I speak for both of us. You can go online to lienvaluesires.com to check out the full thing. It'll be here at Facebook on the Lien Value Sires Facebook page as well. So go ahead and check it out there. So absolutely. Any final thoughts?
Just remember, the sale date for our customers, if you're wanting to consign to the sale, is March 23rd in London, Ohio. Start getting those entries to us as soon as possible. We're getting entries in. We want to make sure we got a firm head count. You can enter up to the day of. We'll work with you. We'll be down there in London, and it's a 1-for-1 deal. Remember, you only have to bring 1 pig sired by a Lien Value Sires hog to everyone that's not. So you could bring 4 that's sired by Lien Value, 4 that's sired by High Point. It really doesn't matter to us. We want to help you sell your pigs. We want to help you market your pigs. That's what we're here for. We're here to help you and help everybody else. So
get in contact with Rusty if you have any further questions.
Yep.
Thanks, Rusty.
Yep. Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Lien Value Sires Spring Open House.
You've been watching the live 2018 Lien Value Sires Virtual Open House. For more information about what you've seen here today, go to lienvaluesires.com. Today's program being brought to you by DAC Show Contender Livestock Supplements, Gene Pro, Mormon's Showtech Feed, and Ripley Family Farm Crumble. This webcast a production of Ohio AgNet and Ohio's Country Journal.